Well, you're gonna have to start listening sometimes. I'm here today to talk about food. We need to start growing more food. People all over the world are starving to death, and they're starving to death, and they need. We need to grow more food. Even in North America, food. I don't know. Food is getting scarce. The prices are getting so high that even middle class families are not going to be able to afford it pretty soon. So uh, we got to get the small farmers back to work. We got to get after the government to stop screwing around with our water and our food supply and grow the food naturally. Organic is natural. It's not organic. You just put organic in there to raise the prices. It's natural food. Well, actually, it's not as natural as you might think. I'll tell you that what I mean by that. Uh, now they banned like manure, cow manure. That's what through history, as far as I know, that cow manure was used to fertilize gardens, but they banned that. One of their friends must have had a fertilizer plant, and it's a big business now. Fertilizers. I mean, and I don't think that it's any good for you. Here's a thing: they use human manure. That's a fact. I drove by a farm that used it, and it took me 3 hours to get the smell just out of my system. That's how bad it smelled. And you know, human manure has all those toxic chemicals in it that goes through your system, like people that take pills and stuff like that. All that comes out, residues of it comes out, and it's going to go through the food. I mean, using in human manure is really dumb. The farmers can't really afford to buy natural manure or fertilizers and stuff like that. You know, a small farmer. Uh, you can see all over the world people are going hungry, and a lot of these got this attitude. Well, I'm making it. You know, it's not my problem. Well, it's going to be all our problems, and we got to stop digging for natural gas because it's rigging up all the farmland, and it takes $100 billion of fresh water to dig one well. That's fresh water, and that's fresh water is good drinking water. For some reason, they're letting the Arctic Circle, the natural refrigerator for the Earth is the Arctic Circle, and they're letting the snow melt. I think they can fix the ozone layer myself. They know what it's made of. This is the world's obligation, not just North America. This is the world's obligation. The pollution in China is terrible. Showed a picture, you could hardly see the buildings. The pollution was so bad. I mean, it's not like in big cities too, but there. I mean, well, there's a lot of people there. There's billions of people, millions, billions of cars, and but exhaust fumes are not seen as a problem. You know, it'll only kill you, but it's not a problem. Uh, but back to food. I mean, uh, there was a meat plant out west. It was shut down for a long time because of the, the 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 food was processed was really bad, and our government, in their great sense of loyalty to Canadians, Said make sure the meat that goes to Japan is good. Don't worry about the food in Canada. Here's my solution to, well, they sold it, as far as I know, they sold it to a Bolivia firm. Uh, Now there should be in all food plants, there should be a quality control inspector there 24 hours a day. If that plant's open for 24 hours, there should be a quality control inspector in there. That goes for any food. Then government regulators should be there at least once a month to check and make sure that place is spotless to get the food to, you know, it's got to be, you know, E. coli is spreading like wildfire. The flu is going around like wildfire. I mean, these are all man-made. These problems are all man-made by ourselves. We got nobody to blame. We let governments push us around too much. I won't get into governments. I'm going to stick to the food thing. Now, milk, if they make too much milk on a farm, and they're only allowed to produce so much, then if they make produce over that, well, you can't, you milk a cow, I mean, you're not going to stop the milk from coming out. I mean, you got to milk them or they'll get sick or that. And, excuse me, and so they dump the milk out instead of selling all the milk at lower prices for the benefit of Canadians. All food can be done this way. You can make more, sell for less. This is what the government doesn't understand, and the greed of the big farmers, like, well, I'm not going to name any names. They know who they are. This has got to stop. I mean, these prices are going too high. The local big chain grocery store down the road is going to raise all our prices 15% at the end of the month. That's not right, because they dump stuff out. There was a food. A guy was telling me this. They at where they butcher cuts the meat and puts it in a thing there for everybody to look at. After 20 minutes, they take it out, put new stuff in, throw the other stuff in the garbage. Meat don't go bad in 20 minutes. You know, this waste of food, people go into food banks just to survive. We have to start listening. You people that sit back and say, well, this doesn't affect me. Well, it's going to affect you. I don't care how much money you got. $1 million. You can't live on $1 million today. If you think you can, good luck. The only way you can do it is if you bought your own great big piece of land and start growing your own food. You might make it. Few cows for milk and what. But like I was saying, we're selling our companies out to foreign investors, and they're bringing over their own people instead of using the people in North America. This is our North America. We were born here. We should be looking after it. Mr. Obama, I give him all the credit in the world. He's trying, but he's getting defeated on all fronts. But the Dust Bowl, I'm going to bring this one up. The Dust Bowl in the 1930s, it affected 46 states in the United States. It was called the Great Dust Bowl. They did have a documentary on it. I watched it. It was very interesting. The people, well, they killed all the foxes. So the jackrabbit, and the jackrabbit was hungry. So because they multiplied so fast after they killed the foxes, that they started eating everything. The fence posts, they ate the grass right down into the bottom, where they start sprout. So no grass, the soil won't stay there with nothing to hold it. You gotta have the grass and that stuff around there to hold it down. So it blew. It was called black. You could see it coming across the sky, black. And this affected 46 states. By the 1939s and 40s, they got a handle on it. But a lot of people lost their farms. And I don't mean to point my finger at you, that's just the way I talk. A lot of people lost their farms, and I'm not Italian either, I don't think. And that was a joke. A lot of people lost their farms. They had to move away. They tried to get in then the California. They start treating them real bad because there was too many going there. Woody Guthrie, I think you heard of him. He wrote a lot of songs. He was in the middle of this, and he could have been a great star. He ran a little radio station, and he tried to help these people. Now, he wasn't. They try to organize and think, but when the rains start coming, okay, the Dust Bowl stopped. They went back to get their land back. Well, they had already sold it. The only way they could get money to eat, except for a few that did stay there, man, and I don't know how they lived there. And so the sky came up with the way of furrowing the land so it'll hold the water and it wouldn't blow away. It was the way the furrows and this was a government done thing, so I give the government credit there in those states. And when it rained, everything turned. My point is that when the farmers went back, they had to pay 100 times more to get their land back than what they sold it for. So who made the money? The banks. Look, I've said in all my videos, the only one that makes money out of all this stuff is banks. I got nothing against banks. I keep my money in a bank. Well, yeah, for a little while until the end of the month, and it's no money in the bank anymore. But you have got to realize we've got to start getting these small farmers back in business. Let them sell everything. They can lower the prices right across the board and everything. That will help the common man. The common man that works for minimum wage, this would really help them. The middle class would really help them if all these food prices were lower. And this is the way to make them lower, is by getting more involved. But the greed of the big companies is just unbelievable. I mean, they don't care if you die of hunger. They don't care if you starve to death. And this is not right. Like I said, I could name some companies that I know have done it, but I won't, because I like my head on my shoulders, and these people are ruthless. So here's the thing. If we do it the way, and by the way, just one important point. They found water beneath the ground. Those states. It was enough water to last for 20 years, but 10 years or 11, I think 11 must be 11 by now, gone by, and they only got. If they don't start conserving that water and they don't start getting a lot of rain to replenish it, they're going to run out of water. And so this is just, a heads up, because like I said, I watched the whole documentary. I watched the whole thing. It wasn't even about my own country, Canada. It was, but we're part of North America. What affects you affects us. We're all in this together. We don't need wars. The wars are stupid. We're fighting for nothing, just to kill off people. That's all it's for. But anyway, like I said, I was going to stick to the food part. Now, like I said, please listen to this. I mean, it's only going to take, what, 15 minutes now. I'll have a hard time putting it on YouTube because Microsoft thinks YouTube won't accept it, but they will, and whatever. And if my sound didn't go down again, they have a bad habit. I get started, my sound's okay, and then they cut it down because they think I talk too much, I think. And I open my mouth too much about things. I've got a lot to talk about. I mean, I've done a lot of research. I've done a lot of studies. I'm not the smartest man in the world. I'm not even the smartest man probably in this building. But I am the one that tries to help. I'll speak up where others are kind of scared to because they're scared of the big companies. Well, I'm kind of a little scared myself, but it's got to be done. Somebody's got to start someplace. Same with oil. OPEC controls the oil. They can control the amount of oil they take out of the ground. And if they want to raise the prices, less oil. You know, they have a hurricane. Well, we have to raise the oil prices. I mean, we just had a hurricane. That's stupid. That's idiotic. Makes no sense. And it's just a money grab. If produce enough oil to do. I mean, there's other alternative energy problems out there, but I'm just speaking across the board about food. And I just happen to think of this OPEC doing the same thing as the food prices. They produce enough that they keep the prices high. And, you know, we could have, well, back in 72, when I started driving, you could buy gas for 25 cents a gallon. Now, in this province right here, it's I think $1.24 to $1.28. I don't have a car right now, so I don't check. I'm a poor man. Send money. Only kidding, folks. I don't want your money. But it's $1.28 a liter. Now, if you figure it out, we pay twice as much as in the United States, and we got one of the richest oil fields in Alberta, but they ship it everywhere but us, and they sold part of it to China. So my point is, we got to stand together. We got to make this happen, folks. You know, nobody can do it on their own. It's got to be a united front. Let's start with North America so we can feed the other countries. The poor Africans are starving to death. People all over the world are starving to death. People in North America are starving to death. It's time we did something, folks. You know, you might be sitting pretty now, but it's just going up and up and up. Thank you very much for listening. If you do listen, bye.